This podcast is a casual conversation about mental health. All topics discussed are based on our own personal opinions and should not be interpreted as professional advice. If you need assistance with your mental health, please contact a healthcare provider. I'm overstimulated. Expect the long-awaited abolition of my brain.
But if mentally we synchronize, despite what we despise, there's a chance that maybe I won't go insane.
Hi friends, welcome to Mental Sync.
Welcome to Mental Sync, everybody. It is the only show that is spooky, scary, creepy, crawly, all things terrifying all year round. And especially this very special Halloween episode where, I'm sorry, Emily, I'm having some trouble seeing you. I'm seeing you and you don't look quite the same.
Oh yeah,
today. I don't know what's going on there. Is your camera off?
I think maybe it is. Is your camera off?
You know what? It is. It is off. Yeah. And you know the reason why it's off?
You should let everybody know.
I do know I don't know why we pretended as if this was news, but the reason our cameras are off,
because that just adds to our personality.
Yeah. So Emily and I gave each other a prompt, knowing that this is going to be our very special Halloween episode. This is going to air on the Thursday right before Halloween, and we decided that we would do this thing where we dress up as our greatest fears.
Yes.
And, we were like, oh, we're going to go hard. We're going to go to the stores, get our costumes, get makeup going. And then what happens is life hits. And, Emily and I, is we don't plan well. And so we both threw together our costumes and we have no idea what the other person is wearing.
This is a fact.
We are about to reveal to each other. So if you're only listening, I would recommend taking a little look at the video here, because we are about to reveal our greatest fears through
nervous.
costume. I'm nervous. I'm excited. Are you ready?
No, but yes.
Okay, for sure. I'm gonna back away from the microphone so you get a good view of my stoom.
Okay, hold on. All right,
Okay.
Are you gonna count down so that we can enable our cams at the same time?
I can count down. I'm just gonna be far away from my microphone, but I can do it.
Okay, go ahead. You count down though.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, I'm over here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop it. Is yours pizza because you're afraid of cheese?
Yeah, I'm allergic to dairy.
Oh my god.
Is yours ghosts because you see dead people?
No, it's because I'm afraid of death.
Oh.
So I was also thinking about just not being here.
Being somewhere else, just off screen.
Yeah, but then I thought that this was better.
I had this little number just lying around, this little pepperoni pizza number, just around.
There's some logistical issues for recording a video podcast like this. So that being said, I'm going to take this off. But wasn't it so good?
This was terrific. This was great.
This was the best, right?
Here, I'll take off the pizza hat, which I also just had lying around.
I love that.
This is our backup costume. As a group, we've had these pizza costumes for years, and it's our go-to. I don't have a costume. What do I do?
Fun.
Just
okay.
Put on the pizza poncho.
I love that. I'm going to take my headphones off, so I won't be able to hear you for a second.
Okay. Yeah, I've been lying to actually everyone this whole time. I don't have a dairy allergy. In fact, I have a dairy fear.
Yes.
Whenever I walk by a 99-cent pizza shop, I'm just like...
On a totally unrelated note, I have a friend who's afraid of soup.
I think you've told me that. I feel like
she's just afraid of soup. And
Hey.
I think that if there's a fear to have, it's that. It's just to be afraid of soup.
Hey. I don't know how to respond to that. I'm sorry for your friend because soup is delicious. I love soup.
Oh, she would hate to hear you say that.
Soup is so good. What do you do?
I should call her.
Oh,
hey,
call
do you
her
want to hear
up right
me and Johnny
now.
talking about
Soup? In the fall,
just...
soup. And I got all the ingredients to make a nice little like sweet potato chickpea soup, and I'm really fucking jazzed about it.
Let me just tell you the best argument that she has when I ask her why she's afraid of soup. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
The broth.
Oh, that's the whole argument. That's the beginning and end of the argument.
Yeah, she's like,
it's the broth.
Just the broth. Like, broth is gross. That's what she says.
I'm trying to find my seat height.
I look exhausted.
So it's not like a dish kind of deal. Like, it's cereal does not affect her.
Correct.
Okay. It's broth. It's the idea of, like, chicken stock. She's just like, no.
But honestly, you could make, like, a vegetable stock, and she'd probably be like... But she will eat clam chowder.
I was gonna ask how does a chowder or a bisque...
she really likes clam chowder.
Okay. And a bisque? Is it the...
I'm gonna have to like grill her. Be like, so
I'm gonna need the details, yeah.
Here's all the details.
You can't just tell me you're afraid of soup and then end the conversation. I need to know everything about that.
There was one time I got her soup in college and told her it was clam chowder.
And what was it?
And she opened it and she was like, ah! It was just
What? Was it like... So it's like gotta be like a New England clam chowder. If it was like a Manhattan clam chowder, she'd be like, that is too... What's the word?
I don't know. There's a
Viscous?
Manhattan clam chowder? That sounds gross.
It is gross, actually. I know. There's like because New England clam chowder is like a creamy, like...
I hate that word so much.
Creamy?
Oh my god, most people don't like the word moist. Can't stand the word creamy.
Damn.
It's just like so gross.
All right. Well, New England clam chowder is a thicker, more viscous broth.
Viscous.
I don't know.
Viscous.
As opposed to Manhattan clam chowder, or is it like Rhode Island clam? There's, I think it's
Rhode Island has a clam chowder. It's like a clear. I wonder if she'd like that because it's more of like a soup.
Too. Well, I feel like that's why she wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. It's like really watery, which I think is gross.
This is true.
If I'm eating a clam chowder, I want to.
I'm gonna have to I haven't talked to her in a hot minute. I'm gonna have to call her. Hey, so I need to know more about your soup fear.
Yeah, right now. Call her up. Dial her in. Send her.
Dial her. That'd be so funny. Hey, Jess, you're on the podcast live.
Welcome to the podcast. What are your thoughts on soup? Are we paused on the podcast for a minute?
We can be.
We don't have to be. I just want to take a bite of my apple.
Go ahead. I also just texted my husband and told him that I needed coffee stat. Oh my god, no! Hold on, this is a problem. This is like the sock situation in Holy shit. Oh, that's my mom calling me live from the podcast. Let's
get her on.
We're gonna have Catherine Mason join the podcast because I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
I love that.
I'm on a podcast.
Catherine, welcome to the podcast. How we doing?
She can't hear you. I should unplug my headphones so she can hear you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Welcome to the podcast.
Okay. Hey, how are you?
We're good. How are you doing? Hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Why, thank you very much. How is John doing today?
John is doing excellent today, despite having COVID. I have no symptoms, and so I'm just inside getting creative work done, and it's great.
Very nice.
Can you see his pizza costume?
Yep, I dressed up. We were dressed up as our greatest fears, and mine is dairy because I'm allergic to dairy.
Oh my gosh! And Emily, what is it that you have on?
let me put it on so I can show you in full effect. Because I can take these off now. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I had to pull it down because it just wasn't like podcast efficient.
You're a ghost.
I am. I got holes.
Okay, very nicely done. You're afraid of ghosts.
I'm afraid of death.
Oh,
You're on the podcast now.
You're
so.
on the podcast. Tell us, what's your greatest fear?
okay. So I have a few fears. One of my fears is Jaws.
So sharks.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. So ocean, being on a boat, not for you?
I have a fear of falling down the stairs.
That's a real one. That's a very, because that's the kind of thing that can happen at any time, like with no, on any normal day, and then like, that's happened to my dad where he's fallen down the stairs, and then that's an injury that he has for the rest of forever.
We had a relative fall down the stairs and it killed them.
Oh God, yeah, no, that's very scary, man.
Yep.
In terms of falling down the stairs, do you find that does that make you sometimes, like, do you ever not use the stairs and are like, I'm not gonna do that right now? Like, does it ever affect actually the way that you go about your day? I don't know if she heard me.
What I do is when this fear comes up, it's usually a thought that comes through my head that I am going to fall down the stairs. And so at the top of the stairs, before I begin walking down the stairs, I tell myself, you are not falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
And
Oh, we're losing ya. We're losing ya.
We're losing you, but we got that answer. That was a great answer.
That was a good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer. Good we clap.
It's like Family Feud. Like, good one. Good answer. Good answer.
So we heard you say that you're afraid of falling down the stairs and you will start at the top of the stairs and then tell yourself that you're not going to fall down the stairs.
right. And the additional thing I do while I mentally say, no, I will not fall down the stairs, is I make sure I'm holding onto the railing.
Okay. That's good.
And a lot of the times when I'm taking the dog or when I had babies in my arms, I would visualize that I have fallen down the stairs with the baby or the dog. So this is where this thing came from. So it comes up every now and again, and I tell myself, absolutely not. That's not happening, and that seems to work.
Well, that's fair. So, in light of us not even starting our real episode yet, I'm going to ask you a question related to our real episode. Does Aliens is real?
What?
If you are asked, does Aliens is real, would you say yes, does Aliens is real, or no, does Aliens is not?
Are you asking me if I think aliens are real?
Right.
Yeah.
Does Aliens is real?
That's what we said, yeah.
No, aliens, in my opinion, are not real.
What?
Hey, that's okay. That's a take. Do you, what do you...
I will tell you that I do not like the word aliens. It has
Okay.
a inappropriate visual connotation due to the movies. So, are there other beings in the universe? I would say yes.
All right. I can
Does
get behind
Aliens
that
is
answer.
real?
So does Aliens is real? No, I like that. The idea that, like, aliens as we see them, like, in Hollywood on movies and TV shows, like, no, it's not these gray or green people that have, like, off humanoid, like,
Very
weird looking. Yeah.
fearful faces.
Yeah,
Fearful
yeah.
faces.
Yeah, no, but it's the idea that there is other life out there in the universe, you do believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
If you give me the questions ahead of time, I'll come up with some really good stuff.
No, we don't even have the questions ahead of time. That's not
Yeah,
our
that's not
style.
how we roll.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. It's all impromptu.
The only question we had ahead of time was, does Aliens is real?
Yeah, we're not
That's
prepared.
quite complicated.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining us.
All right, Mom. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye, John.
Bye. Lovely. Amazing.
Okay, hold on. What a mess of a podcast. Hold on.
Awesome. No, this is great. No. This is the content. This is what the people want.
This is what the people want.
They
Plus,
want the behind the scenes calls with Emily's mom.
What else is out there, John?
What else is out there? Well, I loved your mom's answer, actually, where at first, like, I did think that she was saying, like, oh, no, there's no other life out there, and I was like, hot take. But she was like, no, there's life out there, but the term aliens is offensive.
She says Hollywood is a bad thing.
Hollywood is making these other life forms out to be scary, and the reality is they're probably not scary at all. They're just like us.
Probably also similarly human.
Yeah. Well, see, that's interesting. I don't know if I believe it. Like, I bet they could be. But, you know, the idea that, like, we came from apes and, like, our evolution is so specific. I feel like if I'm sure there is other human-like life out there on planets that have sustained life in the way that ours has. But I'm also sure that there are other, like, I don't know, there are other environments out there that have been able to sustain life, but not in the way, like, where, I don't know, a planet where, like, reptilian life has thrived and has become the apex species, for an example. Who knows?
Okay,
I don't know.
So this could get into some really, really deep conversation because, like, I
For sure, yeah.
believe in science, but I also believe in that there is some sort of universe, whether that be a being that is controlling all of this. So that being said, I'm having 37 thoughts at once because I'm thinking through this as we're talking about it.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's a lot.
But then my thought is, would that universe or being, or whatever you believe in, God or whatever, create something different that we wouldn't know about?
Well, I think they have, you know? I think there's a lot we don't know. I don't think it's a matter of...
I'm going to need that universe to fill me in on something.
You telling me that we don't know everything? I mean,
the hell?
like, that's my idea, is that, like, we have an idea of, you know, there is a lot else out there, and I feel like the most that we know is an idea, like, I don't know, we've seen maps of, like, the Milky Way galaxy, and then that in comparison to as much of the universe as we have seen, but also we pretty firmly believe in science, correct me if I'm wrong, but that the universe is infinite and ever expanding. And I don't think it's a matter... I don't know. There's so much out there that the idea that we are the one and only, like, life can only be sustained.
It's a little narcissistic.
It's a little narcissistic that, you know, which is why, like, and this isn't to talk down on any religion at all. Because, so I think I've said this, where I feel that I am, like, agnostic, like, rather than atheist, because I don't believe firmly that there is nothing out there. But I'm also not, it's not like, there are two different kinds of being agnostic, I feel like, where there's the lazy, like, I don't know, which is fine. But for me, it's like a very firm agnostic of, like, no one knows. No one knows. There's a whole, like, what every religion, you know, kind of agrees on is that God, the higher power, whatever, has created this entire universe. And we just haven't seen even a relevant percentage of it. We haven't been to Mars. That's my go-to argument, is we have not been to the next planet.
But a robot has. There's a robot that lives on Mars.
For sure. However, we have not been there. And I think the idea that we know we know everything else and how it all works, I just don't think that's possible. Can you imagine
that little robot on Mars, like, captures, like, these weird little reptilian creatures, like, running around? That'd be so cool. Like, I'd be like, I'm going to Mars.
I'm going to Mars. You know what? I was very against it until just now, but I have decided I am booking a plane to Mars.
Exactly.
A rocket to Mars. I'm going to book the next JetBlue rocket.
I mean, I think what's interesting about this topic, too, is the idea that, like, the people... See, I don't even know. Like, I don't... See, this is one of those things that's like, this is a hot take from Emily. Have we been to the moon?
I think so.
you know, there's that
I
conspiracy
think so.
theory though that like we've
there's
never
a
been to
whole-
the moon. It was all filmed, and it's like this whole Hollywood thing. And like my question is, if you wanted to prove, I'm not saying that I don't believe that we've been to the moon.
Sure,
I'm like,
but how
just
do we
asking the
prove
question.
that we're not being sold lies?
Right.
That
Like,
idea, yeah.
the whole thing is like, well, how come we can't see the flag we put on the moon? And they're like, oh, they put it on the other side of the moon. Why?
I
Why
hear
did
it.
you put it on the other side of the moon? Why wouldn't we be able to see it with a telescope? Why not?
Well, they were just shy, so.
Why? Were there things on the moon? Is there
don't
life
know.
on the moon? We don't know.
Is there life
There
on
could
the
be
moon?
life on the moon.
Would we be told about it?
I don't know.
And so I think that's ultimately kind of what we're getting into, because we've talked about like existentialism on the show. Could you do me a favor and just say that word?
No.
Okay.
I think also this is such a topic that's kind of like, when we talk about Eggs and Benedict, it's kind of like related to mental health in the sense that like you can get really caught up in this and like really focused on it, and then like it can cause you to spiral.
Absolutely, you can. And actually, there is something specific that I want to talk about in regards to the fear of the unknown. There is a great show that's a super, like, it's a Halloween, like, really fun fall show called Over the Garden Wall. I think I mentioned it to you at some point.
I saw it in the notes, but was like, I don't know that.
Yeah, that's okay. It's great. It's like a Cartoon Network show. Like, it's not like Adventure Time, but it's that kind of vibe in terms of like Adventure Timey, like sense of humor. Like it's not like Adventure Time, but it's for the same like audience roughly, where it's wildly existential and also quirky and cute and ridiculous. And it's
Fair.
all about the fear of the unknown. Like, that's what the whole show is about. It's about these two brothers that get lost in the woods, and they don't remember how they got there, and the entire show is them trying to navigate, well, the older brother especially, who is the very anxious one, is dealing with the fact that he has, like, no control over what's going on, and doesn't know where they're going, and is really coping with the fear of the unknown. And I won't spoil it, but it ends up being this whole metaphor, like a very tangible, like the plot is actually a very literal metaphor for just being afraid of taking risks and, you know, not knowing what's going to happen. And, man, it can really affect the way you live your life. It can really affect the choices that you make and the, you know, the opportunities that you do or do not go for.
Right. And I think too, the other thing is like, we can get into, which I don't think we should for this episode, but like, I think it all plays back into like what we basically hear and see from others, and it plays into this like bigger issue of like what we're facing with today. Like, is
Yeah.
the science real? Is this real? Like, not from, I mean, it's just, I think that that's what happens to people, right? Is they get stuck in these questions of like, oh, well, maybe that doesn't make sense to me, so here's my explanation for it. And
Yeah.
that's where that could be like a big problem, and we've kind of seen it be a big problem in our current environment.
Yep. Yeah, no, we live in an age of information where the internet is just filled with information that anyone can post on there. And so, like, that's why, like, checking your sources is such an important thing, because, you know, and there's this TikTok where a guy is like, I can prove anything right now. Like, I'm on my way to get coffee, and I bet I could look up, does coffee cause blindness? And then he looks it up, and does coffee cause blindness? And it's like, yep, coffee can cause, like, sight issues and whatever, like, first answer on Google. And then he goes, great, now I'm going to look up, can coffee cure blindness? And it says, like, coffee can actually help your vision and prevent, like, and it's just, there's so, you can find information to support anything, and it's really anxiety inducing. And I bringing it back to like religion a little bit, where I feel, and this isn't again to discredit it at all, but I feel like one thing that religion is so good for, regardless of what's true and what's not true, is a sense of stability, a sense of feeling like, oh, I understand the way things work, or it's out of my hands and it's in the hands of someone who cares about me and is omnipotent and like sees all and has this plan, so that even if I don't understand what's going on, it's about putting my trust this other being and knowing that the right thing is going to happen. And I think that's beautiful. I genuinely do. Like, the only qualms I ever have with religion are
Organized religion.
I mean, not like, yes, not inherently, but yes, usually the way that it's practiced, in that, like,
that's what I'm trying to refer to, is like that, like, idea. It's like cult-like sometimes, like.
Yep. When it's practiced in a way that is, we are right, and we need to prove, like, we need to show other people that they are wrong. Right. And it's this idea that, oh, we know how the universe works and no one else does. And it's, man, we didn't mean for this to turn into a religion episode, but here we go.
And, like, honestly, though, like, I think it does tie into, like, fears, right? Like for a while when I was questioning whether or not, like, being Catholic was something I believed in, right? Or something that I wanted to be part of my identity and, like, follow. I think what was happening to me was I was, like, kind of they've instilled this fear that if I don't feel that way, then something terrible is going to happen to me, like, and I get no reward for the life that I live. And, like, I think that was a big fear of mine for a while, when I was, like, kind of separating my idea from, like, oh, this is something that I believe in because I was raised to believe in this. Then it turned into me being like, am I going to be punished? Like, am I going to go to hell? Like, am I going to just burn in flames? Like, what's going to happen to me when I'm gone? Like, what, like, there is that fear. It is the fear of the unknown too, right there. Like, that is the fear of the unknown. And I have this kind of, this take on all of it that you said a couple minutes ago, like, the Catholic God or, like, the Christian God. I have this take that whatever it is, it's all the same thing. We're just worshiping it in different ways, right? If it exists, we're just all... Because there's no way that there's a bunch of different ones.
Also, like, who are we to completely and fully understand the thoughts and intentions of this infinite, like, omnipotent being? Like,
it's crazy. We could get into this forever.
Oh, yeah. And we have, and we will continue to.
Yes.
But I agree. It just comes back to a sense of security and a sense of feeling like there's a lot out there, and it's really hard to go about life when you get caught up in the what ifs and the, like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. And, you know, especially if you're the type of person that has dealt with permanent consequences to ultimately small gestures or small, like, decisions, seemingly small decisions, that, you know, you're in the wrong place in the wrong time, and then, or someone you know is in the wrong place in the wrong time, and then the wrong place in the wrong time, and then they, like, die. You know, like, you have a relative that, like, fell down the stairs and died, and that's really, like, scary to think of. I don't know, not having control over something like that.
And I like, even more to your point, what I find comfort in and what I truly believe in is that everything happens for a reason, and we're all exactly where we're supposed to be in this exact moment. And, like, that might not be something anyone else believes in, but, like, that provides me comfort, you know, like, that makes me feel better. And I think that's what this is all about, right? Like, we get all caught up in what's out there and what's going on, and are ghosts real? Is this real? Whatever, you know, like,
Does aliens is real?
And the answer is, yeah, maybe. But if that doesn't bring you comfort thinking about it, let's not stress about it. Let's not stress about these kinds of things. And what I really should have dressed up as for today is misinformation, because that's what scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, See, I was thinking of dressing up as, like, commitment or something, but that's funnier. That's better.
Like, I should have just been, like, the misinformation post on Facebook. Like, just, like, printed it out and slapped it on my forehead.
Yeah, man, it's hard.
Because I think that's another thing, too, that plays a factor in all of this, is, like, you do have these feelings sometimes of being like, oh my god, this is a lot. This is, like, making me anxious to think about all this and what's going to happen to me and blah, 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 blah. And then you go on Facebook, and then, like, Susie is on there writing about how, like, there's ants inside the vaccine that are going to eat your bloodstream, and you're like, oh my god, now I'm going to die from the 7 microchips and all the active ants that are in my blood. Like, how do you, I guess that's kind of what I bring that up to make it easier to transition into, like, how do we combat that, right? Like, how do we combat
right, because
those feelings?
The solution can't be learn the truth, because that's, like,
right,
I would say nearly impossible without being very, like, at the best you can educate yourself as much as possible from as many sources as possible, from, like, you know, credible sources, and, you know, but there's so much to learn. Yeah, I agree. I think a better question is, how do we cope with the unknown?
Right. And I think, like, another thing I want to bring up about specifically how we can, because this is happening in real time at the moment for me. I have a friend who is very, very anxious about, like, health related concerns, and will Google to no end, like,
like WebMD, like Mayo Clinic, like,
and then freaks out.
Do I have cancer because I have, like, a red spot on my cheek? And and then there's always something that's like, oh yeah, could be.
Right. Could be. And I understand that that's, like, anxiety inducing, and the only reason I bring this up is not to, like, put them on blast at all, but, like, because again, like, I am that support for this person and, like, help them get through these kinds of things, but also as a reminder that, like, if we spend time and effort on these things that are going to make us anxious and uncomfortable and are a little bit scary, when in fact, like, there might not be anything wrong, like, always, like, especially with medical concerns, if you're really concerned, definitely go see a doctor.
Yeah.
But if you spend all this time worrying about, like, everything that, like, this little red dot on your skin, or, like, this feeling that's just, like, not going away or whatever, and it's like you're just letting it, like, eat you alive, like, that's not any more productive than, like, I mean, I know we can't go talk to a doctor about whether or not aliens exist, but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like, if it's something that you're really concerned about, go see a doctor. But, like, spending the time Googling and trying to figure out what exactly is going on is just going to pull you down these rabbit holes, and then you're going to believe the Earth is flat. So, just, you know.
Yeah, man. No, it's man, it's really tough, and I think, yeah, we need to kind of, because those feelings are valid, and that's not to say,
right,
like your anxieties are valid, your fears are absolutely valid, and sometimes you need to, like, feel them out. But I think it's important for us all to really practice the idea of being comfortable not being in control.
Exactly.
And, you know, that can come from things like, for me, meditation has been a big thing of just learning how to, like, you know, just kind of passively absorb information. Like, when meditating, I'll kind of be like, how am I feeling? And not try to think of why, not try to think of what do I do, but just checking in. That kind of practice.
You brought up something last week that I thought would be helpful to mention again here too. Well, not last week, but the week before.
Yeah.
Where you said that, like, when you're meditating, one of the things they do is, like, scanning your body, right? And then it asks you, like, not to try to fix, like, if you notice, like, oh, my shoulder's kind of hurting or something, you know, like, this is uncomfortable, not in the moment to try to fix that, but to notice that and to sit with that. And I think that that's important too. Like, if you start to get these fears about things that are going on in the world, and there's a lot going on in the world, to be able to sit with it and be like, yeah, this makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm not going to know the answer, but that's okay. You know, like, it's okay to not have that definitive answer in the moment.
Yeah. And
so,
just being comfortable with the idea that we are small. We are small.
We are small
little beings, and that's okay. You know, we don't have to have these major impacts on everything. And I take comfort in that. It's like that movie that you loved so much, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's very weird, but I really like the, like, optimistic nihilism of the movie of, like, listen, there's so much going on that, like, it's actually not worth stressing about. It's actually not worth letting it eat you alive, and just try to give more significance to you and your feelings and the relationships in your life and the things that you do have control over. Because if you get caught up in what you don't have control over, there's no positive result to that. You are going to
Right.
spiral because the more you look into it, the less you will feel that control.
Right.
You have control over your life and your relationships, and that's, it's what's
And-
important, man.
And I'd like to say, because I know there's also a lot of anxiety around like vaccine related things at the moment, is if you are concerned about something or you see something on Facebook that somebody posts, and whether or not you believe in the CDC or the World Health Organization or any of that, I think it's a good place to start for looking at information that is scientifically sound. I know some people like don't believe in that, but like honestly, if something on Facebook freaks you out, I'd say just like, I don't know, think critically and go to a website that's a source for that type of information. And if it means anything to you, I'm someone who works in clinical trials, and I can tell you that like the amount of things we have to go through to get a trial approved and ensure the information is accurate and correct literally gives me ulcers. So I'd like to say that there's no way that anybody could fathom like making up any of that information, but I know that's a whole nother conversation. But I just like to say, go to the proper sources. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Find out like sound scientific things for that, and honestly, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
That's good advice, I think.
Because I just feel like that is something right now that's just such a big, like, what if?
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I get this, like, I see all these people posting about, like, am I going to die of a heart attack? Or, like, is all this going to happen to me? And I think, like, if you're really concerned, find somebody you can trust in that field and talk to them about it.
Yeah. And just do your best, man.
Yeah, that's what we're all trying to do right now.
Your fears, your anxiety, it's all valid. Just do your best. And
Absolutely.
Try to have
And if
peace.
aliens are real, I hope we can be friends with them.
I'd like to think so. I don't think, like Catherine said, I don't think they're these big scary Hollywood monsters. I think they're probably like us, where like they would come down to Earth and be like, socially anxious, and would be like, "Hey everyone, sorry, we're hey,
we're scared.
I'm sorry. Or is this a good time? We're aliens." Well, before we wrap up today, I had this little idea for a game. It was when we started doing the, just speaking of, good answer. I was like, what would be fun? And I did this right in the middle of the episode, was I looked up Family Feud answers, and I found the question, name a childhood fear that is carried into adulthood. And I have the top 5 answers right here from this Family Feud game. That's what the game is going to be. I want you to guess what the 5 are. And then I'm going to give you the 5, and I want you to put them in the order that you think they are.
Ooh, okay. So do I have, like, 5 guesses? Or can I guess?
I want you to give me 5, and then I'm going to name, like, in no particular order, just what you think the 5 are. And
so
then,
they're childhood fears that
are
carried
into adulthood, the top 5. In a survey of 100 people.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The dark.
Okay.
Are you going to tell me if it's on there or no?
I will.
Okay,
I want you to just give me... Well, no. I mean, I'm going to tell you at the end. I want you to give me what you think your top 5 are.
Okay, the dark. Being alone. I guess your parents, like, dying.
Yeah,
that might be
that's not something to laugh at, but yes.
That's a trauma response for me, I guess, because I was always afraid of that.
Hey, for sure. It's 3.
4, let's say, something's in the closet.
Okay. Monster in the closet, monster under the bed kind of deal.
Yeah, but like in adulthood, it'd be like serial killer in the closet, like serial killer outside of the shower. And then, I don't know what the last one I would say. I guess maybe like
I'm positive that you can guess one of these. I'm 100% positive that you can guess what one of these is.
Getting sick?
I'm going to give you another hint.
Okay.
Based on what we have done for this episode,
Oh.
I'm 100% positive.
Aliens.
Not quite. You're going to be upset.
Outer space.
All right, I'm going to tell you. You ready?
Oh, no. Did I butcher this? None of these are right.
One of them was right. You got the dark. The dark is
Okay,
one
cool.
of them. Another one of them is death.
Okay.
That was the one that I was thinking because you dressed as death.
Oh, you said
But
you said positive.
We've talked
when you
about
said I'm
a lot.
100% positive, I was like, well, you're positive for COVID, so I was like, being sick.
That's true. That does sound like a hint. Yeah. No, that's very fair. So we've got those. I'm giving these to you in no particular order. We've also got
Okay.
heights.
Okay.
We've also got spiders. And we've
Oh,
also
I was
got...
thinking like, okay,
I know. These were very specific. And we've also
I
got...
was
It's okay.
Go ahead.
We've got a part 2 of the game. We've also got clowns.
clowns. Okay.
Yeah. So those are your 5 there. We've got...
Okay,
we've
so
got
number
death,
1 is
we've
the
got
dark.
Number 1 is the dark.
That's what I'm thinking. Number 2 would be...
Actually, do you want me to give these to you one at a time, Family Feud style?
Yeah, like what order they go in?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, for me to tell you, like, 1 through 5?
Like, do you want to guess one at a time, or do you want to rank them and then I see? Actually, or maybe we should rank them and then I'll see how close you were.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So you've got number 1 is the dark. If you want me to give you the other ones, I will give you the other ones.
Yep. Number 2, I'm going to say is heights.
Number 2 is heights.
Number 3 is clowns.
Number 3 is clowns.
Number 4... What were the other 2? I know spiders was one, and what was the other one?
Spiders and death.
Death. Oh, wait. So I'm going to say dark,
Okay.
death,
Okay.
clowns,
Okay.
heights.
All right.
No, I'm going to say spiders, then heights.
Spiders, then heights. Mm-hmm. So dark, clowns,
So dark,
spiders,
death.
heights.
Nope.
Dark, death.
death, clowns, spiders, heights.
All right. So
I
you got
butchered
the
that. I
order
know I
of
did.
some right. It's okay. It's all right. Number 1 is the dark. That is the number 1.
Figured.
Also, this is a survey of 100 people who are on Family Feud, or who like passed by someone at the mall. So this is not scientifically based whatsoever.
Cool. I'm going to
but
say number
1
2 then. Yep, go ahead.
What do you think number 2 actually is?
Clowns.
It's actually spiders.
No.
Yeah, spiders. People are not into spiders. Number 3 is heights.
See, I would think that less people would say heights, but okay.
Which is, I know. I guess it's like... Because, I don't know. It's interesting. It's the kind of thing also where, like, maybe they were like, oh, what were you afraid of as a child that you're still afraid of now? And they just gave one answer.
Yeah,
As
fair.
opposed to being shown all of these and ranking them. People might respond differently.
True.
But
This is
after
true.
heights is clowns. You were right about that order. And then number 5 was death. It was actually the lowest one, which is very interesting.
Weird.
But I'm sure if people were given these 5 options, they might rank them in terms of like what is most scary. People would probably put death a
You're
little
just
higher.
trying to make my loss feel better. It's fine.
Yes. I'm trying to be sensitive to your feelings.
But it's okay because I
You know
give
what?
you no
Hey, good
mercy
answer.
when you get shit wrong
Good,
when we play
good
games.
answer, good answer, good
Good
answer,
answer.
good answer.
I think the reason I do that now is still because of all of the guys from high school who would do that. Good answer, like in classes.
It's really funny. I don't remember that. Emily, what did we learn today?
Number 1.
Wait. I just remembered something that's important. Number 1 is, you know what you should never have ever, and is a completely false fear 100% of the time, is cynophobia. CYNO phobia. Because you know what that is?
Petting dogs?
The fear of dogs. Invalid fear. Wrong. False.
Invalid fear.
Conspiracy theory.
But actually, if you're afraid of dogs because of an experience, we empathize.
No. That totally makes sense for sure. No doubt. But pet some dogs otherwise.
Yeah, just pet all the dogs.
Yeah.
Unless they're a working dog.
Whatever. What else did we learn?
We also learned that my mother believes that aliens are... That is not the correct word for aliens.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to be like that.
Nope.
And that they are...
They're not allowed to be like that. Aliens are not allowed to be scary.
They're not allowed to be scary, and they're not allowed to be the creepy Hollywood versions of aliens.
No, they're just some dudes. They're just hanging
They're just
out.
some dudes from a different planet somewhere out
anxiety
there in the
just like we do.
galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know.
for sure.
Anyway, so we've learned that, and we also learned to not let, like, misinformation or even, like, just, like, things that are totally just kind of scary let you spiral.
Yeah. Embrace the
Like-
unknown.
Yeah.
Learn to love the unknown.
Absolutely. And before we go, I would like to show you two honorable guests in their Halloween costumes.
Oh, I am so excited. Bring them in here.
Okay, here she is. Hold on.
Hi.
I gotta put
Hey,
her.
lady.
She doesn't like. Let me. Mama doesn't. This is Rhea, but we all call her Mamas.
Hi, mamas.
She doesn't like Halloween costumes, so she gets
Oh.
a very simple, very cute little situation going on here that
I wanna
is
see
going
the
to last
situation.
for maybe 5 seconds
I'm so
before she
excited
gets
for those
very
5
upset.
seconds. I was surprised that you didn't bring her in costume, but now I understand.
So.
Please look at this video if you can. This cat is in a little bonnet. Oh, yeah.
She's the little old lady who lives down the road. she's got her little...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look how
Mamas,
cute.
you're doing a great job.
Loki is also going with a very DIY look for Halloween this year.
All right, let me see it.
Last year he had little wings. I was going to show you those because that would be more fun. But I couldn't find them fast enough. So, I would also like to preface this with the fact that no cats are being harmed in the making of this podcast.
No cats are... No. No.
None will be harmed. It's
They will
all
be
gonna
costumed, though.
Yes.
They will be dressed, they will be loved, and they will be pet. Oh, no. Oh, you're kidding me. Look at look at that little ghost guy.
So I think there's a little flaw. There's a little design flaw here. He's gonna...
Except there's no
needs
way
a-
that he can see out of that.
I think we're gonna... I think I'm gonna have to put his ears through these holes and then make eye holes.
Yeah, I agree. That's so cute with the ear holes. Oh my god.
Okay, so those are ear holes now. Where are your eyes?
These creatures are natural predators and hunters. And they are a dominating species that we have domesticated and now put Halloween costumes on. And for that, I want to say thank you. Thank you to cats.
Okay, honey. Do you want to sit with me while we finish talking about the podcast for 2 seconds and then you can go?
Yeah, let's finish that.
Okay. Do you have anything to say about Halloween this year?
I mean, no question.
I think you're totally on base right there.
Yeah. That's a hot
you
take,
afraid
but
of
I
anything?
support it.
Are you afraid of anything? No. You are a predator.
He's like being trapped in a pillowcase.
Oh, honey. He's such a good boy.
He is a good boy. And you know what? Out there, you're all good boys and girls and theys and thems out there. You're all just great. You're all just wonderful. And thank you so much for joining us here on...
He said it best.
He said it best. Mental Sync. Yep, that's it.
All right,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Have a happy Halloween.
Cool. Okay, are we happy?